Hello and thank you for joining me for your daily tarot. So today I'm going to be taking a look at who or what from your past is calling you back and why. And as always, I will be pulling guidance messages as well, healing messages and the likely outcome. Basically, I never leave the readings open-ended, okay? There is always a conclusion and advice that's given in all of these readings for you. So if you just give me a minute so I can sort out this deck. Right, so who or what from your past is calling you back? That's the Nine of Swords, anxiety with the Five of Pentacles, poverty. Okay, why you're being called to look at this: strength and fortitude, how you can heal this past, the King of Pentacles, loyalty, your potential outcome, the Eight of Cups, quest, and your advice from Spirit is the Knight of Wands and desire. Overall energy at the bottom of the deck, the Eight of Swords and imprisonment. Okay. So straight away, a really difficult energy, right? You've got the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. So the situation from your past that's calling you back, I am definitely speaking to a collective here who was not born with a silver spoon up their butt, okay? For definite. I'm speaking to a collective here who had a childhood of struggling, a childhood of lack, okay? There's an energy of constant anxiety created through poverty, created through not having enough. Opportunities just not being available with this imprisonment energy. This feeling of how you've perhaps missed out on a lot of opportunities in life due to your upbringing, due to your background. Now, as an adult, it feels very much like there's still this ongoing struggle with poverty and the anxiety that is created through not having enough. Okay. Now, this could also have been psychological. This could have been someone who was brought up to believe that they themselves weren't enough. However, for those where this is more to do with not having enough resources, then that feeling of not being good enough would go hand in hand with that. Okay? So this past struggle with never having enough resources is what you're being called to look at. Can you tell us more about this imprisonment energy for our collective, please? Now, obviously, these reads, they do start out a bit rough, but you get the solutions that come through for this as the read goes on, okay? So don't sit there and go, oh my God, you're so negative all of the time. I do these readings in order to try and help people, okay? And to do that, we've got to get the situation at hand. And the situation at hand is not always going to be pleasant, okay? Indecision off-center and balance also off-center, okay? With this indecision coming out off-center, again, that's tied in with the lack of opportunities that comes through imprisonment. Now, again, I'm definitely speaking to a collective who had a rough upbringing and then as an adult made some really shitty, awful decisions, probably even ended up in a situation where they were put in actual jail at some point, or sailing incredibly close to the wind of being put in jail at some point in the very near future if this is not addressed. Okay? That's the seriousness of this energy and the importance of this reading. because this entire channel is built around helping people to uplift themselves and helping people to get themselves out of, quite frankly, awful situations, right? It's time for you to be far more decisive in your life. It's time for you to make that decision. Okay, you know what? This energy, this way of living is no longer working for me. It's not working. I mean, not that it ever worked out from the offset anyway, but it is definitely time to change that. Because it didn't work for you back then, it's not going to work for you in the future. And with balance coming out off center, that can be problems within the justice system. It can be being let down by the justice system. It can be unfairness and inequality. So again, a collective who has come from definitely less than privileged backgrounds, where, let's be real, life fucked them over. Straight up. But that doesn't need to continue. And that's what Spirit's trying to tell you here. It doesn't need to continue. You can actually put this right. You can make things right here. Okay? Why are you being called to look at this? Strength and fortitude. It's not a question of what didn't kill me made me stronger. It's not so much that, but this is more to do with how you take the decision that your past does not get to dictate your future. Having strength and courage, that's feeling the fear of doing things differently and doing it anyway. It's not about not acknowledging that you trying to change up the direction in your life isn't scary, you know. It's not putting on a brave face. That's not true courage. That's not true bravery. True bravery is feeling that fear and doing the thing anyway. Someone has this comfort zone that pertains to struggle. And when your comfort zone is that of struggle and unfairness, it can be really, really difficult to imagine a different type of future. So the brave thing to do is to imagine that different type of future and to take that decisive action towards a better future. Because at the moment, someone is definitely running the risk here of landing themselves in far more trouble than what is actually necessary. Can you tell us more about this anxiety and poverty, please? For the past energy, thank you. Reversed leadership in the reverse, yeah. Yeah, being let down by those that should have taken the leadership role. Being let down by the adults around you. Those who should have had the courage themselves to forge out a much better future for you. They failed to do so. Probably even failed to keep you safe and protected here as well, with the Master of Lightning in the reverse. It's leadership in reverse. The adults around you literally had one job and they failed. And it goes without saying, see with this gas mask, somebody had a very toxic upbringing here, where everyone around them was wearing this mask, where everyone around them was pretending to be someone that they weren't. This is very much a case of acting fine in public, but then behind closed doors, taking out their anger, their temper, and their frustrations on everyone else, including the kids in the house. And I'm speaking now to some of these adult kids who were in that environment, where they never knew what to expect from the adults in their lives. They never knew what mood that adult was going to be in. And with leadership being in reverse, you had to shrink yourself down so that you'd almost be invisible. And if you were invisible, then you wouldn't be a target for this person's bad moods, for this person's temper, for this person's quick fists. If you were invisible, you wouldn't be in the firing line. But it didn't always work, did it? It didn't always work. Can you tell us more about this strength energy, please? For why our collective's being called to look at this. The two of gems and priorities, yeah. Starting to make yourself a priority. And finding strength in doing so. Now, I don't know what's all triggered this. And it's going to be different for all of you. Something has definitely triggered for you to look back at this poverty energy and growing up with insecurity, food insecurity, housing insecurity. All types of insecurity. You're being told to reflect, okay? Not dwell, but reflect upon all of that insecurity that you grew up with. And consider now what it is that you have that at one point you knew full well that you wished to have. Okay? So certain things you have now that when you were a child you wished to have. And you're going to see what it is that you do have in a much different light. The Star, rejuvenation, told you. And the Ace of Gems, opportunity, exactly. Confirmation of everything that I've just said. When you were a kid, you made the wish of, I want to have a stable home. I don't want to be moving house every 6 months. I want to have a stable education here with the gems energy. I don't want to be moving school every 6 months. I want to have stable finances. I don't want to be struggling and wondering when I'm next going to eat. Okay. Now, all of these things that I've just mentioned, a lot of people, a lot of the time, take all that for granted. And here's the thing as well, if you don't resonate with this read, if you don't resonate with this energy, count your lucky stars, count your blessings, be grateful that you didn't experience any of this and move the fuck on instead of having a go at me in the comments section. Because you don't resonate with the read. So what? It's not your read then. Somebody's needing to hear this. Because somebody here is literally a child abuse survivor. And now as an adult, they're finding themselves freaking out and worrying about not having enough. And Spirit's trying to help out and say, actually, you do have enough. You do have enough. If you're no longer bouncing from house to house once every 6 months, you already have a lot more than what you had back then. If you've got a stable income or even the opportunity to create a stable income, you still have a lot more than what you had back then. Do you see where it's going with this? That's why it's strength and fortitude. Fortuitous. Lucky. fortunate. The power of gratitude must never be underestimated. So, you then move on to the King of Pentacles and loyalty for how you can heal this past energy of insecurities. The King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a very privileged energy. Mostly, it's someone who is self-made. It's someone who has dragged themselves out from the bottom of the darkest depths. They've dragged themselves up from this horrible beginning in life, and they have made they've made a true success of themselves, mostly off of their own back. Okay, it's not about someone's gender, it's about the energy that somebody needed to take on or needs to take on in order to get out of this energy over here, which is the masculine principle. Okay, we all got feminine and masculine energies within us. The key is to balance, harmonize, and utilize both of these energies to our advantage, right? We use them as and when we need to. We never stay in one forever or the other forever. We jump and fleet between the two depending on the circumstance. So they're telling you, with this being the masculine principle, that's the decision maker. Okay, that is literally the leadership role. The leadership role, where here it's in reverse, you're being the leader that was denied to you back then. You're filling that gap. Okay, you're filling that gap. You're picking up this mantle of the leadership role. And that is a very brave thing to do. That's what Spirit's telling you here. This is someone who has learnt to depend only upon themselves to get to wherever it is they're wanting to go. Okay? It's not about completely pushing everyone else away. No, this is about dependence and self-reliance. You depend upon yourself. You rely upon yourself. It's because you've learnt nobody's going to come and rescue you. Or this could be futuristic energy. This could be Spirit basically telling off that person who is sailing that very fine line, is about to find themselves either in jail or bouncing back to jail if they don't pick themselves up again. You can take it either way, because I can see both. If you've already done it, this is Spirit reminding you, you can do it because you've already done it. The King of Pentacles is a very successful energy. Really successful energy. You had to, or you have to, depending on where you're at, rescue yourself. Be loyal to yourself, to your healing. Because remember, the question is all about how you can heal this. Practicality has come out off center with the Oracle of Gems. Why is that off center? Someone's telling me I'm not in an ideal situation right now. Spirit's saying it sounds like excuses. Adventure in reverse and wealth off center. It's excuses. There is no better time than right now. Adventure in reverse. Someone's afraid to take the necessary risks. Someone is afraid to come out of their comfort zone. And their comfort zone's over here, which is not a healthy place to be. We've already ascertained that. With their comfort zone being 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, leadership in reverse. That's not a healthy, safe place to be. So you've got to be that risk taker, taking the calculated risks, of course, because you're still going to be smart about it, to be more creative and adventurous, okay? And then you've got the path of wealth that's come out off center. So someone here is basically telling themselves that they don't deserve success in life. And that's the wrong way to look at it. You do deserve success in life. You absolutely did not deserve this bullshit crap over here. However, as an adult, it is within your power to change that energy right there. No, you cannot change the past. But at the moment, somebody is allowing this energy, this past energy, to define them. And therefore, they're allowing that past to make decisions for their present moment, which is absolutely going to have catastrophic effects for their future if they don't change it in the meanwhile. That's what's coming out of this read. You have every possibility to be stable, secure, wealthy. And the fact is, you've already currently got a lot more now than what you had back then, which is evidence alone of your abilities and your capabilities to do better for yourself, because you've already been doing it. You just might not have realized it. That's the thing. Okay? Eight of Cups, quest, that's your potential outcome here. Now, Eight of Cups traditionally is walking away from something that isn't working out for you. And in this deck, you've got these angelfish and blue morpho butterflies. Now, I don't know what the spiritual significance of the angelfish is. Whatever it means for you, it's going to hold a personal message for you. But certainly the blue morpho butterflies, that's about your ability to communicate your needs and communicate yourself better, with more confidence, with more leadership energy to you, to communicate more efficiently and effectively. And with the butterfly, obviously, that's change. So the message I feel here is at some point, you're going to get to a certain plateau on your own healing journey to do with this past. And you're going to be sharing your experiences with others who weren't perhaps so fortunate or strong to pull themselves up. So you're going to be helping those other people pull themselves up by lifting them up. And it's come out as quest, which feels to me kind of like a soul mission. And the Knight of Wands, desire, this is your advice from Spirit. It's time for you to shoot your shot. They're saying you can try as many times as what you're needing to. They're saying for you not to worry so much about failure. Don't focus on failure. If you shoot your shot and fail, okay. Try again. Shoot again. And you keep doing that as many times as what you're needing to. Okay. In fact, you've even got the image of Jupiter here in this card in the top corner. The planet of luck, the planet of good fortune, the planet of expansion and optimism. It's also a message of abundance. And with the oak tree there in the background, that's about stability. Oak trees are incredibly strong. They can withstand almost everything. Oak tree is literally the messenger of strength and resilience. You standing strong, you being proud of who you are and the journey, obviously with the Sagittarius centaur, you got to be proud of the journey that you had to take. Now, I don't know why you had to take that particular journey. I don't know why those particular things happened to you. And you know what? Sometimes there isn't any real answer for that particular question either, which I know a lot of people struggle to get their head around. Sometimes people just let people down. Sometimes people are just shits to each other. Sometimes people just end up with crappy ass parents that should never have had kids in the first place. Sometimes that shit happens. And through no fault of your own, you found yourself now with this trauma from your upbringing and basically trying to grow, heal, and be successful and stable and provide a secure environment for your own family if you have one, that was the complete opposite of what you yourself had experienced. You're already there. That's what Spirit's trying to tell you. Maybe take a closer look at how you measure what success is for you. Because maybe that's what's needing to be redefined here. Can you tell us more about this? Thank you. I was going to say about this desire energy. Yeah, perceptive. With the Oracle of Clouds, perceptive. Can you tell us more? Oracle of Lightning, determination in the reverse. Determination in the reverse would be somebody on the verge of giving up. And the High Priestess, intuition, that goes hand in hand with perceptive. You got to be somewhat perceptive in order for you to trust in your own intuition. They're also saying with this combination that it's time that you believed what you see. See the evidence for what it really is. Evidence being you've got a lot more now than what you started off with. That's the evidence that spirits want for you to look at. This is perceptive. Competition off center. So you find that a lot of people put themselves leg to leg with you in competition. Constantly. Now, why do you suspect that might be? Nobody goes in competition with someone else if they don't see that someone else doing better than they are. It's not how it works. People don't go into competition with those that they feel are doing worse than them. They go into competition with those that they feel are doing better than them. So you've been struggling with a lot of envious individuals who have gone into competition with you. And it's made you feel worse about yourself, not better. So again, it's time for you to change up how you look at that. Four of Gems off center, security. Yeah, I knew that card was going to come out at some point. Security off center, that's someone's insecurities coming to the forefront. Someone's insecurities are making the decisions on their behalf. Someone not thinking clearly because of their own struggles with their own insecurities. And you got heartbreak at the bottom of the deck. It just causes you further pain, further anxiety. The Seven of Clouds in reverse, scarcity mentality. We like that in the reverse because it means you're absolutely on the path here to overcome this scarcity energy that we literally started off with. I told you it gets better, didn't I? It does get better. What's under there? The Chariot, momentum. Yeah. Something's picking up speed. Feeling more invigorated, feeling more positive, feeling more energized now about your entire situation. Definitely feeling more optimistic about your entire situation, especially now that you've seen that energy coming out in the reverse. It's time for you to put this scarcity behind you. You have a healing message for our collective, please. And it's perfectly reasonable and understandable that the more recent financial struggles that everybody's been going through is absolutely going to be triggering these insecurities within people. That's perfectly normal for someone who has come from that sort of background. Stars in the sky, limitless possibility, and a tidy house, clarity and organization. It's time for you to get your house in order, starting with your own internal emotions. Okay, and then that can be taken a step further into your physical house, in your physical environment. But they're saying you've got to work on the internal environment first. Okay, and then of course limitless possibilities. The only one who's putting limits on you and your possibilities in life is you. Okay, and it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. Time to get your house in order, and you're going to be absolutely fine. You're going to be better than fine. What else? In fact, you've got 51 and number 1. And 1s are about a brand new journey, a brand new beginning. Okay. Be yourself, even if you're crazy. Stop worrying about normal ass, nothing ass people judging your cool, weird ass. Yep. Life becomes far more freeing once you surrender being bothered about the opinions of other people. There'll be none of that today. Anytime you feel yourself worrying about any of those asses, remember who you've got to wake up to every morning. You, baby, you. Your job is to make sure that you're good on your own terms. Check in with what you really care about and make sure that you're living up to that. Not what all those asses out there might be thinking. Yep. The opinions of others has got to go. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful for someone. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you did like it and you're wanting to see more. Information on where you can place a private booking with me if you feel that you're in need of one. You can find that information in my description box below, or you can just visit me on my website, which is phoenixkiatarot.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.